Pop quiz. In nitric acid reacting with water, which species is the conjugate base? Hydronium, nitrate, nitric acid, or water? 10 seconds on the clock. In this video, you will learn the Bronsted-Lowry idea of acids and bases, how to spot conjugate pairs, keep track of charges, and quickly label any proton transfer reaction. First, the big idea. A proton is essentially a bare hydrogen nucleus. In the Bronsted-Lowry model, an acid is any species that donates a proton, and a base is any species that accepts a proton. Here is the model in one line. A generic acid, written HA, transfers a proton to a base, B. The products are A-, the conjugate base of the acid, and HB+, the conjugate acid of the base. These pairs are linked by the ability to give or take back a proton. Let's ground it with acetic acid in water. Acetic acid donates a proton, so it is the acid. Water accepts the proton, so it is the base. The products are hydronium and acetate, which are the conjugate acid and conjugate base. And the pop quiz answer from before? In nitric acid with water, the conjugate base is nitrate. Here is a handy rule. When a species loses a proton, its charge decreases by 1. When a species gains a proton, its charge increases by 1. Use this to check your labels and avoid sign mistakes. Let's do a quick fix. The older Arrhenius view focuses on hydronium and hydroxide in water. The Bronsted-Lowry view is broader. It works in many environments, not just water, because it centers on proton transfer itself. So far, you have donor and acceptor definitions, conjugate pairs, and the charge rule for quick checks. Ready to lock it in? Tap the link for study guides and flashcards on this topic, so you can keep learning without missing a beat. Let's apply the model to a new case. Hydrogen sulfate donates a proton to bicarbonate. That makes hydrogen sulfate the acid, and sulfate its conjugate base. Bicarbonate is the base, and carbonic acid is its conjugate acid. Here is another angle. A weak base, such as pyridine, uses its lone pair to accept a proton from water. The products are the pyridinium ion and hydroxide. You can still label everything with the same donor-acceptor logic. Edge cases help your intuition. Water is amphiprotic. It can play both roles depending on the partner. Also, the stronger the acid, the weaker its conjugate base, and the stronger the base, the weaker its conjugate acid. Here is one last tool. The acid dissociation constant, K sub A, measures how much an acid donates a proton at equilibrium. A larger K sub A means an acid that donates more readily, which means a stronger acid. Let's have a guided step through. First, circle the proton that moves. Next, label the acid and base on the left and the conjugate partners on the right. Finally, check charges with the bookkeeping rule to confirm your answer. To recap, acids donate protons, bases accept. Products form conjugate pairs that differ by 1 proton and 1 unit of charge. Use the charge rule and, when needed, K sub A to compare acid strength. Now that you've watched the video, let's see how much you remember. Head to the link in the description, where you'll find Quizlet content made just for you.